Basic project management has 5 phases. So for this video, we're going to focus on the first phase. The first phase is called project initiation. This is where your project starts to take shape.
One of the things that are done at this stage is identifying your project team members and your stakeholders. A stakeholder is someone who has an interest in the development or the outcome of the project.
Yes, so the stakeholders, team members work together to identify needs and wants, and then the project team will create a plan to accomplish the objectives within the time available or money available.
Stakeholders are usually involved in the key gateways of the project, such as the initiation phase and the evaluation. Their main role is to provide feedback and guidance.
Yeah, so once all stakeholders have been identified, so together with the team members, they must meet and identify project goals.
This can be done in a brainstorming session where all parties involved are encouraged to list the possibilities.
So in this meeting, they answer the question, if the sky is the limit, what would they want the project to achieve or do?
Then you should decide which items are necessary for the project's success. This means you need to identify what are those items that are your needs and which are nice to have, which is your wants.
So if the list is lengthy, wants and needs can be prioritized to help the project team identify the most important tasks.
Remember, this is not a final list. It's a brainstorming session to kick the things off for the project. The end result of this session is to come up with a project goal statement.
Each project should have a SMART goal statement. Remember SMART acronym you learned in LO? So for the project team to achieve a goal, stakeholders must be very clear about what they want.
It is also important that you track the progress of the project or your goals. All goals need some form of objectives and measuring system so that you can stay on track and you become motivated when you enjoy the sweet taste of quantifiable progress.
Yeah, you know, when you're trying to track, you must answer the question, how will I know that I'm making progress in achieving my goals? All team members and stakeholders must agree on the goal.
If the project is work-related, the project goal must be relevant to that of the business.
We've already established that projects need to have a time frame, so there must be a specific start and end date.
An example of a SMART goal is by the end of December 2022, we would like to add 2 additional bedrooms in our family home.
So once everyone involved in the project has some idea of what the project should do, you begin setting project requirements.
Requirements outline exactly what a project must do for it to be considered successful.
Yeah, as part of this, you should then be able to create your deliverables. Deliverables basically define what can people expect to hold in their hands once the project is complete.
These deliverables will help you set clear expectations at the beginning of your project and maintain a clear idea of what you are going to do.
Yes, once you have an idea of who your stakeholders are, what the project will achieve, you will want to put everything in writing so that you don't forget what was discussed.
You need to create a document that will detail what the project will do and when it will be done.
This project will form part of a binding contract of expectations between all parties involved in your project. As we all know, when you enter projects, everybody involved has different expectations. So what information should we be put in writing, Gogo?
Firstly, we need a project team. A project team, it includes all the team members of the project and each person's roles, as well as a list of stakeholders and the sponsors if you need any sponsors. Secondly, you need to have project details, which these include the name of the project and the estimated start and finish dates.
It's also important to include the project purpose. So try and keep this as simple and concrete as possible. Answer the question, what is the purpose of the project?
The scope. what will the project include? And what items will the project also include? This section, when we speak of scope, it is extremely important as it will help avoid miscommunication and disappointment down the road.
Yes, you must also mention or include items that will not form part of your project in your scope. If we go back to our example, the project scope is the addition of 2 new rooms. And this project does not include any buying of furniture for the 2 new rooms. So that's the scope.
In the document, you can also include the project goals, your deliverables, and your requirements. Also, your basic finances. You list applicable rates and payment schedule information in that document.